इसको सेटअप करना कोई सिखा दो यार, कैसे करते हैं, मुझे आता नहीं। इसको सेटअप करना कोई सिखा दो यार, कैसे करते हैं, मुझे आता नहीं। लेट्स गो बॉयज, लेट्स गो। कहाँ थे अपन? दोस्ती की मरी हुई कहाँ?
Carried off all the money with her to Bordeaux. And just imagine, my engagement had already been announced. To Shchevalevskaya, just 3 months shy of 16, still in school, with a dowry of 90,000. Avdotia Ignatievna, do you remember how you corrupted me 15 years ago when I was still a 14-year-old page? Ah, so it's you scoundrel. Well, at least God sent you, because otherwise here it's... You were wrong to suspect your merchant neighbour of smelling bad. I just kept quiet and laughed. You see, it's me. They buried me in a nailed coffin. Oh, you're disgusting. But I'm glad all the same. You wouldn't believe, Klinievich, you wouldn't believe how scarce life and wit are here. Yes, I know. And I'm determined to get something original going here. Your Excellency! Not you, Pyotr, the other one, Mr. Tarasievich, the Privy Councillor. Answer me. It's Klinievich. I'm the one who took you to see Mademoiselle Furie during Lent. Can you hear me? I hear you, Klinievich, and I'm very glad. And believe me, I don't believe you for a minute, and don't give a damn. I simply want to kiss you, you dear old thing, and thank God I can't. Do you know, gentlemen, the trick that this grand-père came up with? He died 2 or 3 days ago, and can you imagine he left behind a shortfall of a total of 400,000 of public money, funds for widows and orphans. And for some reason, he was the only one in charge, so that at the end, he hadn't been audited for some 8 years. I can just see the long faces they're all wearing now and how they're remembering him. A delightful thought, don't you agree? I've been marvelling for a whole year now how this 70-year-old geezer, who suffered from gout and rheumatism, managed to conserve so much energy for debauchery, and now we have the answer. It was the widows and orphans. The thought of them alone must have fired him up. I had known about it for a long time, and I was the only one to know, Charpentier told me. And as soon as I found out, I immediately hit him up in a friendly way during Holy Week. Give me 25,000, or there'll be an audit tomorrow. And just imagine, he could only come up with 13,000. So it seems that his dying now was very expedient. Grand-père, do you hear me? Cher Klinievich, I quite agree with you, and there is no need for you to go into such details. Life has so much suffering and torments, and so little reward. In the end, I wished finally to have some peace, and so far as I can see, I hope to glean all I can from here as well. I'll wager that he's already sniffed out Katish Biristova. Who? Which Katish is that? The old man's voice began to tremble with lust. Which Katish? The one right here, to the left. 5 paces from me, 10 from you. It's already her 5th day here, and if you knew, Grand-père, what a little rascal she is. From a good family, well brought up, and a monster. An utter monster. I didn't show her to anybody there. I was the only one who knew. Katish, answer me. Answered in reply the cracked sound of a girl's voice in which, however, one could hear something like the jab of a needle. A little blonde girl, Grand-père babbled haltingly, drawing out the 3 words. I have long, babbled the old man, panting, dreamed of a little blonde girl, about 15 years old, and precisely in circumstances like these. Oh, you monster! Avdotia Ignatievna exclaimed. Enough! Klinievich had made up his mind. I see that there's excellent material. We'll quickly arrange things for the better here. The main thing is to spend the remaining time enjoyably. But how much time? Hey, you, the government official. Did I hear that your name was Libizyatnikov? Libizyatnikov, court councillor, Semyon Yevseich, at your service. And I'm very, very, very glad to make your acquaintance. I don't give a damn whether you're pleased. It's just that it seems you know everything here. Tell me, first of all, I've been wondering about this since yesterday, how is it that we can talk here? After all, we're dead, and yet we can talk. And it seems that we can move as well. And yet we don't talk, and we don't move. What's the secret? If you wish, Baron, Platon Nikolaevich could explain this to you better than I. Who's Platon Nikolaevich? Don't shilly-shally, get to the point. Platon Nikolaevich is our local homespun philosopher, scientist, and master of arts. He's put out several little books on philosophy. But for the past 3 months now, he keeps falling sound asleep. So much so that it's impossible to stir him. Once a week, he mutters a few words beside the point. Get to the point, get to the point. He explains it all by the simplest fact, namely that up above, when we were still alive, we mistakenly deemed death there was death. The body comes to life here again, as it were. The residue of life is concentrated, but only in the consciousness. I don't know how to say it. It's as if life continues by inertia. Everything is concentrated, in his opinion, somewhere in the consciousness, and continues for another 2 or 3 months, sometimes even half a year. There's one fellow here, for example, who is almost completely decomposed, but once every 6 weeks, he'll still suddenly mutter a word, meaningless, of course, about some babok. Babok, babok. But that means that an inconspicuous spark of life still glimmers inside him as well. Rather stupid. But then, how is it that I smell a stench if I don't have a sense of smell? That's where our philosopher gets a bit hazy. It was precisely in regard to the sense of smell that he observed that the stench that is smelled, so to speak, is a moral stench, the stench coming from our soul, as it were. So that in these 2 or 3 months one has time to look back, and that this is, so to speak, the final mercy. Only it seems to me, Baron, that this is all mystical gibberish, which is quite excusable given his circumstances. Enough. And the rest of it, I'm sure, is all nonsense. The main thing is that there's 2 or 3 months of life, and in the end, babok. I propose that we all spend these 2 months as pleasantly as possible, and to that end, we should all arrange things on a different footing. Ladies and gentlemen, I propose that we not be ashamed of anything. Ah, yes, let's not be ashamed of anything, many voices were heard to say, and strangely enough, even altogether new voices were heard, which means that meanwhile some others had only just awakened. The bass voice of an engineer, now fully awake, thundered his assent with particular readiness. The girl Katish giggled with delight. Ah, how I want not to be ashamed of anything, Avdotia Ignatievna exclaimed with rapture. Listen, now if even Avdotia Ignatievna wants not to be ashamed of anything. No, Klinievich, I was ashamed. All the same, I was ashamed there. But here I so terribly, terribly wish not to be ashamed of anything. I understand, Klinievich, the engineer bellowed, that you're proposing to arrange life here, so to speak, on a new and rational footing. Well, I don't give a damn about that. As far as that's concerned, let's wait for Kudiryarov, who was brought here yesterday. He'll wake up and explain everything to you. He's such a figure, such a gigantic figure. Tomorrow, I believe, they're bringing another scientist, and probably another officer. And, if I'm not mistaken, in 3 or 4 days, a certain Feuilletonist. And I believe his editor as well. However, to hell with them. We'll have our own little group and everything will fall into place on its own. But meanwhile, I don't want there to be any lying. That's all I want, because that's the main thing. On Earth, it's impossible to live and not to lie, for life and lying are synonymous. Well, but here, for the fun of it, we won't lie. The devil take it, the grave does mean something after all. We'll all tell our stories out loud, and we won't be ashamed of anything now. I'll tell about myself first. I'm a voluptuary, you know. Up there, all this was bound together with rotten ropes. Down with ropes, and let's live these 2 months in the most shameless truth. Let's strip ourselves bare.
एक सेकंड स्ट्रिप ourselves bare. रुक जाइए, आपकी वाट लगेगी बेटा. स्ट्रिप ourselves bare. आपको छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा, मैं बता रहा हूँ. क्या हो रहा है? What up, niggas? कोई निगाह है यार? कोई नहीं आया भाई. 2 वॉचिंग कौन वॉच कर रहा है भाई? कौन आया नया? भाई कुछ लिखो यार, कोई नया आया तो बात कर सकते हो यार, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. अपन सब
And be naked. Naked, the voices all cried out. I so terribly want to be naked, Avdotia Ignatievna squealed. Ah, I see that we're going to have a good time here. I don't want to go see Eka. Oh, would have lived a bit longer. Naked, the voices all cried out. So the main thing is that nobody can stand in our way. And even though Pyevayedov, I see, is angry, all the same, he can't touch me. Grand-père, do you agree? I absolutely agree, and with the greatest pleasure, provided only that Katish begins with her biography first. I protest! I protest with all my might! General Pyevayedov pronounced firmly. Your Excellency, the scoundrel Libyzhatnikov prattled and urged in hurried excitement with his voice lowered. Your Excellency, it will be to our advantage to agree. You see, there's this girl, and finally, all these various little things. To be sure, there's the girl, but to our advantage, Your Excellency, it would really and truly be to our advantage. Well, if only as an experiment, well, let's at least give it a try. Even in the grave, they won't let me rest in peace. First of all, General, you're playing preference in the grave. And secondly, we don't give a damn about you, Klinevich declaimed, emphasizing each word. My dear sir, I beg you all the same not to forget yourself. What? But you can't touch me? Well, I can tease you from here like Yulka's lapdog. And first of all, gentlemen, what sort of general is he here? It's there he was a general, but here, he's a mere nothing. No, not a mere nothing. Here, too, Here, you'll rot in your coffin, and the only thing left of you will be your 6 brass buttons. Bravo, Klinevich! Ha ha ha! The voices roared. I served my sovereign. I have a sword. The only thing your sword's good for is spearing mice. Besides, you never drew it. All the same, sir, I comprised a part of the whole. There are all sorts of parts in the whole. Bravo, Klinevich, bravo! Ha ha ha! I don't understand what exactly a sword is, the engineer exclaimed. We'll run from the Prussians like mice. They'll tear us to pieces, cried a distant and unfamiliar voice, but one literally transported with delight. A sword, sir, is honour, the general cried, but only I heard him. A prolonged and frenzied roar, melee, and clamour broke out, and only Avdotia Ignatievna's impatient squeals, which bordered on the hysterical, could be heard. But quickly, quickly, when are we going to start being ashamed of nothing? Oh, truly my soul is passing through the torments, resounded the voice of the man of the common people, and that's when I suddenly sneezed. It happened without warning and unintentionally, but the effect was startling. Everything fell as silent as the grave, and it all vanished like a dream. A truly sepulchral silence ensued. I don't think that they had become ashamed on my account. After all, they'd resolved not to be ashamed of anything. I waited for about 5 minutes, and not a word. Not a sound. Nor can one suppose that they feared that I would inform on them to the police, for what could the police do here? I can only conclude that they must, after all, have some secret, unknown to us mortals, which they carefully conceal from every mortal. Well, my dears, I thought, I'll come visit you again. And with that, I left the cemetery. No, this I will not tolerate. No, indeed, no. It's not Babok that troubles me, though that's what this Babok turned out to be. Depravity in such a place. The depravity of the final hopes. The depravity of flabby and rotting corpses, and not sparing even the final moments of consciousness. They were granted. They were made a present of these moments, and... But most of all, in such a place. No, this I will not tolerate. I'll spend some time in other classes of graves here. I'll listen everywhere. That's just what needs to be done, to listen everywhere and not just in one part, in order to come to an understanding. Perhaps I'll stumble onto something comforting. But I'll definitely go back to them. They promised their biographies and various stories. Ugh. But I'll go. I'll definitely go. It's a matter of conscience. I'll take it to the Citizen. A portrait of one of the editors there was also put in the exhibit. Perhaps he'll publish it.
This has been a Penguin audio production of White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky, read by Luke Thompson. It was produced by Chris Thompson. Babok was read by Leo Edwards and produced by Roy McMillan. The post-production was by Tom Robotham.
Okay, got it. क्या करें अब? नया बुक बताओ चलो. बबॉक हमने पढ़ लिया. बबॉक जैसे हमारी जिंदगी गायब हो सकती. बबॉक. ये कौन है नया व्यूअर? भाई अपना नाम बताओ भाई. आइए चैट में आइए, कुछ बोलिए, डरिए मत. आ गया डर let's go boys, we'll play games. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. एक सेकंड लड़कों एंड लड़कियों, मुझे लॉगिन करने दो ताकि हम लारा क्रॉफ्ट खेल सकें, लारा क्रॉफ्ट से मिल सकें, लारा क्रॉफ्ट को देख सकें. लारा क्रॉफ्ट नजर लगी तेरे तो बातें पूछता चुप करा तमें देगा तुझा लेट्स गो बॉयज को नया गेम खेल एक नया सब्सक्राइबर आ जाए पैच हो कोई नहीं आ रहा है चैट आ जाए लड़का आ जाए कुछ तो हो कहीं तो हो कैसे तो हो लॉन्चिंग है कब तक लॉन्च कब तक हो जाए लॉन्च भूख सी लग रही यार कितना खाएगा मोटे मोटा होते जाएगा मोटा साला भैंसाड़ा खिड़खिड़ हंसदी नजर लग दो चुपके तो मेरे तन तक कमी लग गई चलने तो खिड़खिड़ हंसदी नजर लग दो मैं कब लॉन्च होगा पता नहीं 10 घंटे से लॉन्च ही हो रहा है इतना टाइम नहीं लगता लॉन्च होने में बेटे इतना टाइम नहीं लगता Come on, boys, come on, motherfucker. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 187 187 के हिसाब से वो अच्छी चीज देता है भाई चलना जो कब से भाई मेरे को चक्कर आ रहा है भाई चालू नहीं हो रहा है भाई जियो मेरे भाई ये कहाँ गया भाई जियो अरे यार अभी तो लॉगिन किया भाई यहाँ से मेरा लोकेशन के लिए Babak. जल्दी चालू हो नींद आ रही है मेरे को अभी से कम 1-2 घंटा तो खेलूं और पढ़ो बुक नींद आएगी फिर जल्दी चालू हो नींद आ रही है मेरे को अभी से कम 1-2 घंटा तो खेलूं और पढ़ो बुक नींद आएगी फिर भाई कल तक चालू हो जाना अबे मेरे को गेम में नहीं जाने दे रहा है चलो यार चालू करो यार भाई चालू कर, नींद आ रही है। कल तक चालू हो जाएगा जियो गेम्स हमारा। साले जियो गेम्स दो ना मेरे को, वो क्या बोलते हैं कुछ स्पॉन्सरशिप कुछ तो दो यार, मतलब पैसा तो इतना पैसा है भाई तुम लोगों के पास। रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज तो अभी करना क्या है मेरे को याद नहीं है भाई, क्या कल मैं घूम रहा था इधर से उधर जैसे मेरे को पता नहीं करना क्या, मेरे को जेन्युइनली नहीं पता था क्या करना। चश्मा लग गया लगता है। चालू होना गाने नहीं चला सकता, पता है गाने चलाओगे ना कॉपीराइट कर देगा। दोस्तों कोई तो आ जाओ दोस्तों। हाँ तो राठौर साहब भी नहीं आ रहे, रोज आ जाते हैं। राठौर साहब कहाँ है आज? माय गॉड एट लास्ट लाला जी, where you have been? I have been just so impatient to see you. How have you been doing and where have you been roaming? You know? I was concerned, I was tense, I was almost just crazy, you know? I was so worried for you. चबे! खेलना आता नहीं है, इंग्लिश चोदेंगे। यहाँ जाऊं कैसे? Okay, okay, kami ungar. Okay, ungar. लारा जी मुझे नहीं पता है वहाँ कैसे जाते हैं, मेरी मदद करो, मेरी मदद करो, मेरी मदद करो। ये बहुत दूर आ जाएगा, मेरे को पता था। ये क्या बोल रही थी, एक बार सुन तो इसकी बात।
Are all these young people crazy these days? I've seen kids scramble like goats in the heights above the village. Scares me to death. I hope you've grown out of your wild stage, young woman.
Not quite yet, I'm afraid.
Of course you haven't. But you will. So will these children. They will tire of whatever they've found up there. Eventually.
आंटी क्या बोल रही है, मुझे तो ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है। क्या बोली आंटी? फिर से?
Are all these young people crazy these days? I've seen kids scramble like goats in the heights above the village. Scares me to death. I hope you've grown out of your wild stage, young woman.
Not quite yet, I'm afraid.
Of course you haven't. But you will. So will these children. They will tire of whatever they've found up there. Eventually.
पहाड़ों के ऊपर जाना, ठीक है। अब जाना कैसे बात वो है, क्योंकि हिंट मिल चुका है आंटी से। कैसे जाऊं, क्या करूं? यहाँ तो खाई है, यहाँ कहाँ जाने बोल रहा है? छोड़, छोड़ना चाहिए। अबे बट जेन्युइनली भाई, मतलब क्या करना क्या है, मतलब क्या क्या चाहती है आंटी?
Chodź, cię psacheć.
कुछ तो मिस कर रहा हूँ, कुछ तो गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ। क्या गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ भाई?
Aj,
अबे हट!
ting wall.
तो देखो आएगा यार। You are almost there. अब देखो अब बाहर दिखा रहा है। इससे बात करनी है ना अंकल को। अंकल बात करो। अंकल वास्तव में ये है अंकल। ये भी नहीं है भाई, देख लियो। वो देख पूरा उल्टा ही है। वो पता नहीं क्या चाह रहा है भाई मेरे से गेम। दुनिया ही क्या चाह रही है। अरे इससे बात करने। अबे साले गधे। चड्डी दे चड्डी लेना बोलेगा छुट्टियां बाहर करो। अरे बहन चोत कहाँ जाऊं तो? भाई मेरे को नहीं पता है मुझे क्या चाहिए। Mata kulu, ulu, चुप है।
Ya, chansa tant apili kawich.
अंकल ऑफेंड हो गए। अंकल अबे बॉडी अच्छी है अंकल की भाई। थाई देख रहा है अंकल, ये देख रहा है, ये देख रहा है भाई। भूल जा रहे हो, डेड लिफ्ट मार रहे हो अंकल। अंकल नहीं है वो। चुप है। घर की याद नहीं आई जैसे।
I'm not sure. The dialect is familiar, but something's not right.
दो दिन से यहीं पे हूँ मैं। इतना घटिया है ना, खेलने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा है भाई। ये जगह इतनी कबीली ली चल तेरी में। हटना नंगू साले। ये तो पेंटिंग ही ना। बाबा चड्डी पहनना आता नहीं बिल्कुल। ये चाचा से मिले थे ना यार, यहाँ मैं आ चुका हूँ। यहाँ कुछ ही नहीं है भाई, यहाँ मैं आ चुका हूँ। टाइम वेस्ट करना चल। मैं यहाँ आया कैसे? अबे यार मेरे को यहाँ से निकलना है, मैं आया कैसे था यहाँ से? मैं आया कैसे यहाँ पे? मेरे को वापस जाना है भाई। अबे यार ये गेम मेरे से वापस करवाएगा। मैं यहाँ पे आ चुका हूँ भाई एक बार। भाई मेरे को यहाँ ले चल भाई। वापस कैसे जाना? कोई तो आ जाओ भाई देखने वाले। कैसा टेंस्ड फेज हो गया भाई तेरा। फंस गया हूँ भाई, बता दो भाई मुझे बता दो। मैं फंस गया हूँ मेरे भाई। भाई प्लीज करेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव को बस प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज। भाई पीछे जा नहीं सकते क्या भाई? मुझे नहीं पता कैसे जाते हैं पीछे। मैंने क्या बताया है तुम्हारा इतना बड़ा मैच। बहुत ही ये तो कोई यहाँ पे दिखा दो भाई। मैं कहाँ बैठ के मुझे दिखा दो। मैंने भाई मैं फंस गया। मुझे पता भी नहीं कहाँ जाना है। अबे भाई ये कहाँ आ गया हूँ भाई? अरे यार भाई मैं ये पहले ही कर चुका हूँ भाई यार। अरे यार कोई मुझे यहाँ से निकालो प्लीज। मैं फंस चुका हूँ। कोई यहाँ से निकालो। भाई प्लीज कोई मुझे यहाँ से निकालो। अरे यार पहले कर चुका हूँ। अबे मैं ये पहले ही कर चुका हूँ भाई। पीछे नहीं जा सकते क्या? पूरा मुंह उतर गया था। ये मैं कहाँ आ गया? भाई यहाँ जाना है। बेच दे भाई कैसे भी करके। भाई मेरे को यहाँ ले चल भाई, तो गेम बंद करो। Tereto, Marina, was a really Tereto. मुझे नहीं करता सीपी, कोई आता ही नहीं है देखने भाई, कोई तो आए बहन चो, कोई नहीं आता देखने। गेम चेंज कर दूंगा मैं। दोस्तों, माफिया खेलने का समय आ चुका है। पीछे चला जाए, एग्जिट किया जाए। खिड़कियां से अरे टूम नहीं खेलना मेरे को। लॉगिन टू प्ले क्या भाई, पहले से ही लॉगिन किया हुआ है भाई, क्या है भाई ये? फिर वही बात, फिर वही बात। अभी तो लॉगिन तो किया हुआ था यार। एक सेकंड रुक जाओ, इतना आसान था क्या? फिर वही बात, लॉगिन तो करना पड़ेगा। मम्मी आपको पता है, देखने दे रहे माफिया 2 कब का लगे यार। 2010 अब मैं 2010 का गेम खेलूंगा मैच, इतने बुरे ना आ गए मेरे। भाई तो वो तुम लोग बॉस बनाइए जो लगते हैं शैडो कब का, शैडो 2018 से पड़ा था। 2018 इतने पुराने पुराने गेम खेलूं मैं छोटा में, कोई नया गेम दे दो तो कुछ हो जाएगा। 2018 इतने पुराने पुराने गेम खेलूं मैं छोटा में, कोई नया गेम दे दो तो कुछ हो जाएगा। क्या करेगा लॉगिन करके? 2018 इतने पुराने पुराने गेम खेलूं मैं छोटा में, कोई नया गेम दे दो तो कुछ हो जाएगा। क्या करेगा लॉगिन करके? 2018 इतने पुराने पुराने गेम खेलूं मैं छोटा में, कोई नया गेम दे दो तो कुछ हो जाएगा। ये ढंग का गेम है। क्या करेगा लॉगिन करके? 2018 इतने पुराने पुराने गेम खेलूं मैं छोटा में, कुछ है 2025 गेम, मोटो जीपी 2025 क्या है समुद्रा दिखाइए जरा, क्या करना क्या है? कैसे कैसे गेम भाई एकदम ठीक है। मोटो जीपी है बड़े बड़ा है। लिख के देता हूँ 5 मिनट में बोर हो जाऊंगा, इससे अच्छा तो नहीं दोस्तों इसकी पढ़ रहा था, इससे अच्छा मैं वहां चले जाता हूँ। गाड़ी दौड़ाएंगे पैंचोद बाइक अभी 2025 की, देख अब I don't like going on dates with girls. I rather like to be lonely and play unshitty games. गाड़ी दौड़ाएंगे पैंचोद बाइक अभी 2025 की, देख अब अबे इधर जाने दे। एक सेकंड भाई, माउस इधर फंस गया। Let's go. वैलेंटिनो रॉसी बनने का समय आ चुका है। नहीं चाहिए गेमिंग फीचर्स। Cancel. Time to game Grand Prix Championship डायरेक्ट चैंपियनशिप मैच हो चैंपियनशिप स्टार्ट गाड़ी चलाने आती नहीं है स्टार्ट साफ आता है भाई तेरे भाई को बस गेम चलता है भाई मेरा खाना क्या है भाई रात के 10 बजे
Hello from Buriram, Thailand, where in a few moments we will start broadcasting the Chang Grand Prix race weekend. There's movement in the pit lane. The riders will enter the track soon for the first free practice round. The sun is shining over the circuit, the asphalt is dry and the riders can concentrate on finding their ideal setup.
Hang International. भाई इससे अच्छा शेयर ढूंढ लेता हूँ मैं अरे आओ अबे आगे बढ़ाना एक ही शॉट बार
The mechanics take the bike out of the pit and the rider is ready to get on the bike.
इसलिए बोलते हैं भाई GTA खेलो
आगे जिंदगी में सेक्स कर लेता हूँ मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड मर गया सेक्स कर लेता हूँ बेस्ट फ्रेंड की बंदी सेक्स कर लेता हूँ बेस्ट फ्रेंड की बंदी ये दोस्त सेक्स कर लेता हूँ वो लड़के नहीं होते जिनको देख के लड़कियां कहती हैं वो आई गेट फिक्स है और उसके बाद खुद अपना इमोशनल ब्रेकडाउन करा लेती है छुट्टियों की वजह से और फिर जाती है थेरेपी में जाके खर्चा करती है थेरेपी के ऊपर ये वो छुट्टियां है भाई टोरू बात करना में एक ऐसी फीमेल कैरेक्टर पूरे बुक में बता दो एक ऐसी फीमेल कैरेक्टर पूरे बुक में बता दो जिसके साथ टोरू बात ना के संबंध ना हो एक्चुअली एक है इसकी पेट बिल्ली बस
ये खेले ये पड़ेगा उतनी अच्छी नहीं है यार जस्ट थोड़ा
Hello from Buriram, Thailand, where in a few moments we will start broadcasting the Chang Grand Prix race weekend. There's movement in the pit lane. The riders will enter the track soon for the first free practice round. The weather is looking very calm, the sky is clear and should remain so for the rest of the session.
चलो 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 गाड़ी चलाने दो चलो चलो लाइन स्टार्ट Flying start करते हैं.
The mechanics take the bike out of the pit and
Sorry! ब्रेक किससे लगता है? ब्रेक लगता है. ब्रेक किससे लगता है? पता नहीं है ना ब्रेक अभी किससे लगता है. क्योंकि येलो ग्रीन लग रहा है. भाई को गाड़ी चलाने आ गई नहीं आई है सॉरी. अबे ज्यादा स्पीड नहीं चला. मेरे गेम खेलने का मतलब ही क्या है धीरे चला. करनी होती क्या? अरे गेम ही एग्जिट उसकी ऑडियो बुक लेनी पड़ेगी ना, दैट इज द थिंग। तीन बार हो गया ये को, ये तीन यार, हाँ भाई 3 बार हो गया। भी है तो यार मजे करो यार लाइफ में भले कल कोई ए और ऐसा चैंपियनशिप जीत के सामने तेरा पढ़ाई लिखाई करो tutorials let's go adjusting the anti-wheel release closer to the open throttle without okay ठीक है rewind करने में क्या F5 दबाने में क्या backend What is all these like me? आवाज क्यों आ रही है उसकी? I don't know. Something went wrong.